My mic was off. Good evening, PEP scholars. Welcome to another live PEP class. Today being Wednesday, we're going to be doing our performance task, our PEP performance task. And our topic for this evening's performance task is palm trees for sale. Before we go into that, here's our schedule of live classes. Remember, we have 5 live PEP classes per week. We also have 6 live CSEC math classes per week. And this is different from the hundreds of videos, recorded videos that we have on the channel, both for PEP and for CSEC math. So here's the schedule. Students, I know you are busy preparing for your math tests and your CSEC exams coming up. I have a very important question to ask you. Do you like my hat? Thank you. No, another important question. Have you ever gotten a math problem wrong simply because of making one little mistake? I'm sure you have, as thousands of other students have. Now, in this series, we're going to be looking at the common mistakes that students make with all the topics in CSEC math. We're going to look at the common errors, demystify everything, make sure you watch every video in this series so that you can avoid making those mistakes. So, stay tuned. Hello scholars. Did you know that most times when students get problems wrong in mathematics is as a result of one single error or one mistake? Well, this is absolutely true, and we're going to be looking at the common errors that students make in the different topics in mathematics. If we know the errors beforehand, we can certainly avoid making them. Are you ready? Come on, take my hand. All right, so here we go, and I want to welcome everyone who is joining us. We have our scholars backstage waiting as usual. The early birds are here, and we know that others will be coming. For those who want to join us, those coming from YouTube, from Facebook, from wherever you are, you want to join us in studio, here's the link. I'm posting the link now. And I want to welcome those in the chat. So far, I'm seeing Langot, I'm seeing Kashmar, Adiana, Ashley, I'm seeing Andrea Ashley, my beloved auntie. I'm not sure if it's her or one of my cousins, but whichever one, welcome auntie, welcome cousins. I'm seeing Alyssa, Mayceline, and I know many others joining. So we're just getting started and we're going to dive into our performance task for PEP, palm trees for sale. So let me invite my scholars, Antoine the early bird. Welcome, Antoine. Jaden, welcome. Amari, welcome. John. All right, and let me also share my screen. Okay, so the screen is up and not seeing Jaden or John or Amari. You guys are going to go clandestine tonight. Oh,
good night, Miss.
Good night. All right, so there's trees for sale, and these lovely pics are pics of my own palm trees that I planted so many years ago. So thankful to my palm trees, which will be featured tonight. All right, so let's get into it. All right, Antoine, you were the early bird, so you get started. Please read what's on the screen.
Okay, Miss. Mrs. Allen planted 3 palm trees in her yard 15 years ago. They are now fully grown and have been producing palm kernels. It has occurred to Miss Allen that she could plant the kernels and see if she can start a small business selling palm trees. She decides to give it a try. Mrs. Allen planted 3 palm trees in her yard 15 years ago. They are now full grown and have been producing palm kernels. It has occurred to Mrs. Allen that she could plant the kernels and see if she can start a small business selling palm trees. She decides to give it a try.
Thank you, Antoine. All right, John, please read question one.
Okay, Miss. Number one. Mrs. Allen observed that each stem of the palm tree produced approximately 40 kernels. If there are 4 stems on each tree, about how many kernels would Mrs. Allen expect to reap from her trees? Number one. Mrs. Allen observed that each stem of the palm tree produced approximately 40 kernels. If there are 4 stems on each tree, about how many kernels would Mrs. Allen expect to reap in all from her trees?
All right, so the kernel is the seed of the palm tree. And also, let me welcome Jer. Good night, Jer. You have your hand up. Who is that? John or Amari has their hand?
Miss, that's John.
John. Okay, John, what do you say for this one?
Miss, I would say Miss 160.
All right, so John says 160 kernels. I'm seeing Ashley saying 360 kernels. How did you get that answer, John?
Um, Miss, Mrs. says if there are 4 stems on each. Oh wait, sorry, wait, Mrs. There are 4 stems on each tree, Miss.
Hmm.
Oh, Miss, how many trees were there again, Miss?
How many trees?
Yes, Miss.
Read what it says.
Okay, Miss. Mrs. Allen planted 3. Okay, Miss. Yes, Miss. Sorry, wait. 3, 6. Wait, Miss.
Okay, so Ashley is saying not 360.
4. Since there are 4 stems on each tree, and each stem produces 40, Miss. 40 times 40 is 160, Miss. And then the 160 times is 3, Miss. That would give 480, Miss. That's Miss size 480.
That's correct. All right, and Alisa had also said
480.
160. So it's not 160. Remember, it's 3 trees.
Yes, Miss.
Antoine said he got 480. It's
Miss,
three palm trees, right?
yes, Miss.
Right, it's 3 palm trees. So 40 kernels on each stem and 4 stems each. So that's 4 times 40. And it's 3 palm trees. So the answer is 480.
Miss, I did it a little differently.
Which way did you do it, Antoine?
Miss, first, since there are 4 branches and
Four
on
stems.
yes, 4 stems on each tree,
Mhm.
I just multiplied 4 by 3 and got 12. Then I multiplied 40 by 12 to get 480.
Okay. So multiplication and addition are commutative and associative. And this means it doesn't matter which two things you add first or multiply first, the answer will be the same. Once it's a multiplication operation or an addition operation. So, Antoine, you multiplied the 4 times 3 first, and then you multiplied it by 40. John multiplied the 40 times 4 first, and then he multiplied it by the 3. But you realize we got the same 480 because this is the associative property. When we multiply 3 or more things, it doesn't matter the order that we multiply, which two we do first, the answer will be the same. All right. Amari, please read question 2.
Okay, miss. Number 2. The fully the fully mature palm trees each have a weight of 6 meters. Of
Height.
height of 6 meters. The height of each floor of Mrs. Allen's house is 3.4 meters. How much taller than the palm tree in centimeters is the flat roof of Mrs. Allen's two-story house? The roof itself is 7 centimeters thick. Number 2. The fully mature palm trees each have a weight of 6 meters. The height of each floor of Mrs. Allen's house is 3.4 meters. How much taller than the palm tree in centimeters is the flat roof of Mrs. Allen's two-story house? The roof itself is 7 centimeters thick.
All right.
Miss, Miss, Miss
Yes,
with first,
John.
Miss with first convert the 6 meters, Miss, into centimeters. I
Which
miss that.
is?
Miss, that is 600 centimeters, Miss.
Mm-hmm.
And the 3.4 meters into centimeters, Miss, that's 340 centimeters.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and Miss, at the last part it says the roof itself is 7 centimeters thick. So Miss, 7 centimeters would be Miss, you convert that to 700 as well.
No, John.
No, Miss, not the roof.
It's already in centimeters.
Okay, so Miss, it would be 600 plus 340 plus the 7, Miss.
No, that's not correct.
No.
Read the question carefully, John, to yourself.
Okay.
Look what they're asking for. What is the question asking for?
Oh, Miss is asking how much taller than the palm tree in centimeter is.
So, question, how much taller? How much taller than the palm tree?
Is is the flat roof of Mrs. Allen's two-story house.
Mm-hmm.
Miss, am I supposed to include the flat roof, Miss? The roof?
So, it's a two-story house.
Yes, Miss.
So that's one story on top of the other, right?
Yes, Miss.
And then we have the flat roof. And then we have the palm tree. So how much taller than the palm tree is the top of the flat roof? That's what the question is asked.
Um,
How much taller than the palm tree is the top of the flat roof?
Miss, since the top of the flat roof is 7 centimeters, Miss, and the height of it of the palm tree, Miss, is 600 centimeters.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, 600 from 7. Um, oh, wait, Miss, that's 539.
You're
And
taking
90.
600 from 7.
Oh, yes. 7 from. Yes, that. Just that.
Think about it some more. Ashley is saying 4.4 centimeters taller, but then she says, hold on, she's going back to the drawing board. Does anyone else have any ideas? Antoine says 260 centimeters. How did you get that, Antoine?
or 2.6 meters.
Well, it did say in centimeters. How did you get 260 centimeters?
Firstly, I subtracted 6 meters from 3.4 meters to get
You subtracted 6
2.3.
meters from 3.4 meters.
No, miss. 3.4 meters is from 6 meters.
Why did you do that?
Since it asks of wait, please give me a second to work this out.
Mayceline says 94 centimeters taller. Mayceline, can you write out an explanation in the chat for me how you got 94 centimeters taller? In the meantime, I'm open to other ideas. So remember, Mrs. Allen's house has 2 stories, right? Or 2 floors. First floor, second floor, first story, second story. And it says the height of each floor or each story is 3.4 meters,
Upper notes.
right? Plus,
Yes.
there's a roof, there's a flat roof on top of that, which is 7 centimeters thick. And then you have the palm tree beside the house. The palm tree is 6 meters high. So I want to know how much taller than the palm tree is the top of the flat roof. So let's put in the measurements.
Um,
Let's put in the measurements. So this floor or this story is 3.4. This one is also 3.4. But that's in meters. So in centimeters, it would be 340 centimeters. And the thickness of the roof is 7 centimeters. So it would be the 340 plus 340 or 340 times 2, whichever way you want to do that part. 340 plus 340 plus the 7 for the roof, and that gives us 687. That's the height of the whole building from ground to roof. And the palm tree is 600 centimeters. So we just need to take that 600 from the 687. So the difference in height is 87 centimeters. Okay,
I got the same things.
that's the difference in height. Mayselin says, hi Nia. Mayselin says the first story would have 347, not 347, 340. 340 times 2. And then you add the 7, right? And then you'd subtract it. Okay, so let's go on. So these are the palm kernels sprouting. So for those who don't know what a palm kernel is, so here, these are the green kernels. They are the seeds produced by the palm tree, and after some time they will become ripened and they will turn to red. At that time they will fall off the tree and you can plant them. So Mrs. Allen planted hers, and then after a while they start to sprout. So they're coming up out of the soil. So she planted them to in a little container because she's planning to transplant them. So not all going to grow in this. She's going to transplant them. All right. Jaden, please read question 3. Jaden, not hearing you, Jaden. Check your mic. Not hearing you. In the meantime, Jer, can you read question 3, please?
Okay, Miss. 3. It takes palm tree kernels 90 days to generate and produce sprouts. If Mr. Allen planted the kernels in mid-December, by when should she see this? By when should she see the first sprout? It takes palm tree kernels 90 days to germinate and produce sprouts. If Mrs. Allen planted the kernels in mid-December, by when should she see the first sprouts?
All right, let me see or hear some answers. For question 3, the palm kernels take 90 days to germinate. So to germinate means to produce sprouts that burst out from the seed coating, and that's when the growing process has started. So if it takes 90 days for the germination to complete, by when should Mrs. Allen see the first sprout? So Jer, what do you say?
Miss, I said by the middle of March.
And how did you come by that?
Miss, because if it's halfway in December, you could just estimate that it is 30 days, even though it's 31, and then half of that, which would be 15, then the 15, you subtract 15 from 90, which would give you 75, and that will work for the rest of the other days moving forward. So 30, you could continue with the estimation that the rest of the months have 30 days. So January would have 30 days and February would have 30 days, even though it doesn't. And then that would leave it to March, and it would bring you around somewhere in the middle of March by
Oh,
estimation.
you're correct. You're correct. So roughly, so you're saying a month is roughly 30 days, and that's 330 days would give you the 90 days. So that's 3 months. So mid-December, 3 months from mid-December would be mid-January, mid-February, mid-March, middle March. Come to think of it, I read a book when I was in high school called Middle March. Was it Thomas Hardy? I'm not sure. I don't remember if it was Thomas Hardy. Yeah. So there's a English textbook, English novel called Middle March. All right. So back to you, Antoine. Question 4.
Okay, Miss. Question 4. 7/8 of the kernels germinated. How many kernels did not? Number 4.
Mm-hmm.
7/8 of the kernels germinated. How many kernels did not?
All right. So Anyone?
Miss, how many kernels were there in total?
Yes, it's how many?
How many did not? Oh, what answer did we get for number one? Who remembers?
480.
480, Miss.
480. Mhm. All right, so 480 kernels, 480 kernels. 7/8 of the kernels germinated. How many did not germinate? All right, so Ashley is very prompt. 60. Antoine says 60. Antoine, how did you get 60?
Miss, I got 60 by finding 7/8 of 480, which would be 420. Then I had to subtract 420 from 480 to get 60.
Okay, is there another way that we could have worked that? Anyone? So Antoine is saying he calculated 7 over 8 times 480, and that gave him 420. So this is what Antoine did. He put 7 over 8 times the 480. And we know that 8 into 480 equals 60. And 7 times 60, that's 420. But this is the amount that germinated. So we need to subtract that from the 480, which would leave us with 60. Was there another way we could work this? 60 is correct, but there's another method we could use. Can anyone think of another way we could work it, Jerry?
Miss, you could multiply. No, Miss. No, never mind, Miss. Never mind, mistake.
All right, so we could say since 7/8 germinated, what fraction did not germinate? If 7 out of 8 germinated, what fraction did not?
1/8, Miss.
1/8 did not germinate. So we could just go straight ahead and find 1/8 of the 480, which would give us the 60 straight away. So that's 60, right? So this is one step. Find 7/8 of the 480, which gives you the 420 that germinated, and then subtract the 420 from 480 to get the 60. Or we could say if 7/8 germinated, then 1/8 did not. So we could just find 1/8 of the 480, which is 60. Amari, question 5. Sorry, Antoine, question 5.
Okay, Miss. Question 5. Within 2 weeks, the sprouts had grown to 5 centimeters. At this same rate, in how many weeks would they be expected to grow half a meter? Question 5. Within 2 weeks, the sprouts had grown to 5 centimeters. At this same rate, in how many weeks would they be expected to go to half a meter?
Okay, and let me welcome Shalicia. Good evening, Shalicia. Antoine, you can go
Good
ahead.
evening, Miss. Can you hear me?
Yes, I'm hearing you. Good evening. Antoine, go ahead.
Thank you.
Or anyone who has an idea about number 5. How can we solve number 5? Within 2 weeks, the sprouts had grown to 5 centimeters. At the same rate, in how many weeks would they be expected to get to half a meter?
Miss, in 2 weeks it go to 5.
Yeah.
So, miss, and half of two, miss half of, oh, miss 50. Miss in fifth, miss, but 3 half a meter, miss, you have to reach the 500 centimeters. So, it,
How many centimeters make a meter?
miss 100.
100.
Miss,
So half of a meter is how many centimeters?
miss 500 centimeters. Oh, wait, sorry, miss. 50 centimeters.
Okay. So half
Oh,
of
miss,
a meter is 50 centimeters.
yes,
All right. So we know that half a meter, that's 50 centimeters. So if we got to 5 centimeter in 2 weeks
okay,
at the
miss,
same rate, how many weeks would it need? Would it get to 50 centimeters?
okay. So, miss, in 4 weeks it reached to 20, miss, in 4 weeks it reached to 10. In 3 weeks it reached to 15.
All right. So you're saying 2 weeks, we got to
5,
5.
yes, miss.
Four
4 it got to
weeks,
10.
10. Uh-huh.
And 6 weeks, miss,
6 weeks,
it got to 15.
15. Mm-hmm.
In 8 weeks it got to 20, miss.
Mm-hmm.
In 10 weeks it got to
Mm-hmm.
25.
Okay. So if 10 weeks it got to 25,
Yes, miss.
do you
And
see a
half,
relationship between the 25 and the 50?
yes, miss. Miss 25 can go into 50, miss, so that's 2. And miss, into the 10th week, miss, will multiply that by 2. So it'll be 20 weeks.
Okay, so 20 weeks. So John was doing it step by step going. So he said, okay, 2 weeks, 5 centimeters. So in 4 weeks, it will be 10 because you're saying at the same rate, same rate. Is there another way we could work this? So I think I saw Ashley said very, very early that she got 20 weeks. Nia is saying if you divide 100 by 2.5, you get 40 and then divide it by 2. So that's another way we could work it. That's another way we could work it, right? Um, Also, we could do it as a ratio or as a proportion. So we could say 2 weeks, 5 centimeters. And so, how many weeks would be 50 centimeters? And so we'd cross multiply. So 2 times 50, that's 100. And then divide that by 5, which would give us a 20. All right, John, it's actually your turn to read.
Okay, miss. Number 6. Palm trees do well in rich, moist soil.
Soil.
Mrs. Allen, yes, miss, I said, miss, I corrected myself and said soil. Mrs.
Mm-hmm.
Allen made compost from her kitchen scraps, garden leaves, and other biodegradable material. She planted the kernels in pots with a mixture of sand, compost, and garden soil. In the ratio 1 to 3 to 5, she puts 3 kilograms of mixture into each pot. How many grams of compost was in each pot? Number 6. Palm trees do well in rich, moist soil. Soil. Mrs. Allen made compost from her kitchen scraps, garden leaves, and other biodegradable material. She planted the kernel in pots with a mixture of sand, compost, and garden soil. In the ratio 1 to 3 to 5, she puts 3 kilograms of mixture into each pot. How many grams of compost is in each pot? Oh, miss, the sun is 1, the compost is 3, and the garden soil is 5. So, miss, when you add up the ratios, or she made a mixture, miss, when you add up the ratios, you get
Mm-hmm.
you get 9, miss. So,
Mm-hmm.
miss, the 1 over 9 times the 3 kilograms, miss. Okay. Oh, wait, miss, a
When
1,000.
you add the 5 and
The 3 and the 1,
oh,
miss, I got 9.
okay, 5, 3, and 1. Okay. Oh, sorry. This, yeah, 5, 3, and 1. So that's 9. All right. So what's the next step?
Miss, the next step would be to put the 1 over 9 times the 3 kilograms over 1, miss. And miss,
Why are you
since,
putting 1/9?
yes, I'm putting 1 over 9, miss, because, oh, wait, miss, it asks how many grams of
Mhm.
compost is in it. Oh, wait, miss, it asks for how many grams
You
of
want
compost.
compost,
Yes, so,
and which part of the ratio the compost go with?
miss, the 3.
The 3.
Yes,
So it's
so,
sand, compost, garden soil. So
yes,
one for the 1 part sand, 3 parts compost, 5 parts garden soil.
miss. Okay, so miss, it be the 3 over the 9 times the 3 kilograms. Miss, I missed how many grams make a kilogram? Miss, that's 1,000.
Mm-hmm.
So miss, it be
So that's
3,000.
3/9
Miss times 3.
times 3,000.
Yes, miss, over 1.
Okay, which is
Okay. Okay, miss, that would be 3,000.
3/9 times 3,000.
Yes, miss, because, oh wait, oh, miss, the 3 is cancelled, miss, after the 3,000. 9 into it, miss, 29 goes 3 times, and 3 into 3,000 goes 1,000 times, miss.
So
And the
it's
3
1,000, not
yes,
3,000. This 3 cancel the 9, it's no longer
yes,
there.
yes, miss.
So it's 1,000 grams. And that is the answer. For the question before this, so Ashley was saying she got 20 weeks from dividing 1 meter or 100 centimeters by 2, and she got 50 and multiplied 5 centimeters by 10, which gives 50, and 2 weeks times 10 is 20. Well, she said 29, but it should be 20. All right, and so the answer for question 6 is 1,000. 1,000 grams. All right, Shalicia, I'm going to ask you to read question 7.
Okay, Miss. Number 7. The sprouts thrived with Mrs. Allen tender care and they quickly grew into young palm trees. 3 in each pot. Mrs. Allen will transplant the young trees from 12 of the pots so that each has a pot of its own. How many new pots will she need for that batch? Number 7. The sprouts thrived with Mrs. Allen's tender care and they quickly grew into young palm trees. 3 in each pot. Mrs. Allen will transplant the young trees from 12 of the pots so that each has a pot of its own. How many new pots will she need for that batch?
All right, so what do we do for this one? So she's transplanted. Remember, when they are kernels, you can put them, you can put a handful of them in one container because they are just seeds, right? So they are going to germinate and sprout. And then now when they get to a certain height, like a few inches, you have to transplant them to a bigger container so each of them can have space. All right, so the question says, how many new pots will Mrs. Allen have to get for this batch? How many new pots? Ashley says 36 new pots. And Nia says, or Naya, not sure which pronunciation, says 33 pots. Cashmark says 5 new pots. But remember, scholars, when you're giving me your answer, first of all, tell me which number you're answering. Don't take it for granted because the chat sometimes comes in slower than the studio. And also, if you could give me just a quick explanation. I know it's kind of tedious to be typing out your answer, and that's why I would love if you come in studio. But if the studio gets full very quickly over here, just type as briefly as you can the explanation. Cashmark says 7.5 pots. Remember, these are pots, Cashmark, so we wouldn't be using half of a pot. So if you got 7.5, you'd probably have thought to round that to 8 pots.
Miss, I think he meant that for question 7.
Oh, okay, I'm just seeing right. Question 7, he's saying 5. Thank you, Antoine. Ashley says, sorry, it's 24 pots. She already has 12. You are correct, Ashley. I would love for you to explain for me how you got the 24 pots. You are correct. And Nia is also saying she meant 24. 24 is the correct answer. So what happens is she's taking the young trees from 12 pots. Let me use a different color. She's taking the saplings or the young trees from 12 pots. And remember, each of the pots had what? Three growing in them, right? Let's double check. That's what it had said. Which one told us how many was growing? Did I pass that? Oh, three in each pot. So here there are 3 sprouts in each pot. And she takes up a batch of 12 of them. So that would be 12 times the 3 in each pot. So that's 36. But one of them going to stay in each pot, right? She don't need to take out all 3. She's only going to take out 2 from each pot. So it's really the 2 times 12. That's how many new pots she needs. So it's 24 new pots. So Ashley and Naya, right? So Ashley says the 12 pots she already has gives me 24 new pots needed, right? She multiplied 12 by 3 originally and she got 36. But then she remembered. All right, so Naya is saying the first pronunciation. So that's Naya. Okay. And Naya also says she multiplied 12 by 3 to get 36, and then minus the 12 because 12 of them are staying in the original pots. So that's what we must remember. All right, so Amari, please read question 8.
Okay, Miss. Question 8. When the plants got a certain height, Mrs. Allen decided that she was ready to take them for sale. She brought 2 dozen palm trees to the Greater Portmore market and she set a price of $1,500 for each one. Mrs. Mrs. Allen sold 18 plants at the set price and 3 plants at 10% discount. Number 8. When the plants got to a certain height, Mrs. Allen decided that she was ready to take them for sale. She brought 2 dozen palm trees to Greater Portmore Market, and she set a price of $1,500 for each one. Mrs. Allen sold 18 plants at the set price and 3 plants at 10% discount.
All right, so jot down those figures for me, guys. What are the important figures there? So 2 dozen palm trees she brought, one
Mrs.
five
Allen
for
brought
each. She sold
10%.
18 at the regular price and 3 at 10% discount. Jot down those prices. You're going to need them for the next part. For the number 18 has 3 parts, which we're going to go to the other slide now. So jot down the 2 dozen that she brought, one five for each. 18 were sold at the one five. 3 of them she sold them at a discounted price of 10%. And Jer, please read all of question 8 and then we'll go one by one.
Okay, Miss. 8A. For what total price did Mrs. Allen sell the 3 discounted trees? B. What were her total sales? C. How many plants did she return home with? 8A. For what total price did Mrs. Allen sell the 3 discounted trees? B. What were her total sales? C. How many plants did she return home with?
All right, so 8A. For what total price did Mrs. Allen sell the 3 discounted trees? Nia. Oh my, Nia, I'm giving you a hard take over your name. I'm so sorry. Okay, so how do we approach 8A? What's the
Miss, I
total price? John, go ahead.
Miss, I, Miss, I got 4,500. And Miss,
4,500.
yes, Miss, how I got that, Miss? I did the 3 over the 10% discount times $1,500 that it was sold
Mm-hmm.
for. And when I did that, Miss, I got 3. Miss, I got $4,450. $450.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Miss. So it Miss essential for 8 8. No, no.
Sorry, go again, John.
Okay. Um, Miss, I did 3 over the 10% discount times 1,500, Miss. And I got
Mm-hmm.
$450.
$450.
Yes, Miss.
Miss, I got $150 for the
You
10.
got $150, Antoine.
That for each of the three, Miss. Then I added them up to get 450.
$450.
Yes, Miss.
What is 10% of 1,500?
Yes. Miss, I got
150.
450.
And that's at You got 10% of 1,005 is 450,
Miss 150. Miss 140. Miss
and that's the
145.
discount. That's a discount, you know.
Uh,
So you need to subtract that from the 1,005.
Miss, that's 300. $300.
When you take 150 from 1,005, you get
Oh no,
$300.
Miss 15 from 4. Miss 15 from what again?
You are taking the $150 from 1,500.
Miss, that's $1,450. Oh wait.
John,
Oh sorry. Uh,
John.
yes, Miss.
So 10%, 10 over 100 times the 1,005. So these zeros will cancel these.
Yes.
So 10% of 1,005 is 150. This is the discount. We are to take the discount from the cost to find out how much she's paying. She's
Okay.
selling 1,400. So 1,005 minus 150.
Yes. Okay. Miss Anna, Miss is one. Miss is $1,350.
Okay, so 1,350 for each, and it's three of them. So the three of them would be 1,350 times 3. So 3 times 0 is 0, 3 5 is 15, 3 3 is 9, and 1 10.
50. Miss 2,000.
$4,050. That's for part A.
Yes.
So 10% discount, she's selling those three for. So 10% of the 1,500, that's 150, which is the discount. It's not what she's selling them for, it's how much she's taking from the price. So we have to subtract the discount from the price. So she's selling each of those for $1,350, and it's three of them. So we multiply that price by 3. So the 3 palm trees that she's selling at a discounted price is $4,050. So part B, what were her total sales for part B? What were her total sales? All right, so Antoine said 4,050 for that one. Ashley says she sold the 3 discounted trees for 4,050. One discounted tree cost 1,350, which is 150 times 3 is 450. Jonathan is saying, oh, so Jonathan worked it a different way. So when he found the $150 discount, he multiplied that by 3 first to get 450, and then he I can't make out what you do here, Jonathan. 31,050. I'm not sure what happened here. Oh, you multiply the 450 by 50. I'm not sure what you're doing, Jonathan. You lost me there. All right. And Nia also says a discounted tree costs 1,350. But remember, we're asking for the total. All right. So Nia says 4,050. All right. So everybody is on track with this one. So how about B? What were her total sales? So how are we going to work out the total sales? So did you write down the information I told you to write down? She
Yes, ma'am.
sold, says 1,005. She sold 18 of them for the 1,005. And we just worked out that she sold three of them for 4,050 for the three, in the total cost for the three. So now we want, what were her total sales? How much she selling all? How much money she made in all? How we going to calculate that? Let me see some answers. Okay, so Ashley says her total sales were, so she sold 21 trees. But remember, the 21 were not all at the same price too, right? So the 18 times the 1.5, which would give 27,000, and then we add that to the 4,050 for the discounted, the three discounted one. So the answer, your answer, Ashley, is correct, $31,050. So the breakdown of that is the 18 times 1,005, which is 27,000, and we add that to the three discounted trees, 4,050, and we get 31,050. And part C says, how many trees did she return home with? And I think Ashley had given us the answer for that long ago. She returned home with 3 plants. Because remember, she sold 21 of them. She sold 18 at the regular price, 3 at the discounted price, so that's 21. And she had brought 24 trees, 2 dozen. 1 dozen is 12, so 2 dozen is 24. So 24 minus the 21. So she went back home with 3 trees, which is great. That's good sales. She went there with 24 and she sold 21. All right, Jer, can you read the final question, please? No, not Jer. Sorry, Jared. Antoine, read the final question.
Okay, Miss. Question 9. Mrs. Allen was very pleased with her new business efforts. She saved 60% of the money earned at the market and decided to buy herself something lovely with the rest of the money. How much money would she have available to treat herself? Question 9. Mrs. Allen was very pleased with her new business efforts. She saved 60% of all of she saved 60% of the money earned at the market and decided to buy herself something lovely with the rest of the money. How much money would she have available to treat herself?
Okay, so work that out for me. And while we're doing that, Jonathan came in with his answer for the last question. Set price 27,000 plus the discounted price of 4,050 equal to 31,050. All right, so we're on the last question and we have 1 minute to go before it actually is 8 o'clock on the dot. So this is our last question. Mrs. Allen, she was very pleased with the outcome of her endeavor. And she said, you know what? I'm going to save 60% of the money that I made, the total cost that I made. And the rest, I'm going to treat myself. I'm going to buy myself something really lovely. How much money would she have to spend to treat herself for her efforts in making that decision to become an entrepreneur, go into business for herself? She saw the opportunity, she took the kernels, she planted them, she tended to them, and she got her sprouts, she got her little palm trees, and she sold them, almost all of them. Well, almost all of that batch that she brought. So she's congratulating herself and she's treating herself. How much money will she have to treat herself with? Any takers?
Yes, I have an idea.
Go ahead, John.
Miss, since you was Miss got back home with 31,000 and something dollars. Miss, how many dollars did she come home with again, Miss?
Well,
Okay,
she made $31,050.
okay. So Miss, Miss, the 60 over 100 times the $31,050.
So you're saying let's find 60% of the 31,050,
Yes,
and that would give, so that zero cancel that one, and that zero cancel that one.
yes. Um,
6 fives 30,
bring over three, so that's three. Six one
and
six
6
and six
is
three is 18.
18.
Yes, Miss. So the 18. So Miss 31,000. No, $18,630 from $50.
And that gives what?
Okay, Miss. The zeros, Miss. Uh, Miss. Okay, Miss. That gives 20. Oh yes, Miss. 12,520.
All right, so this is how much she can treat herself with. Is there another way we could work this?
Um, Miss.
Instead of
Try.
finding 60% of her total sales and taking that from the total sales, is there another way we could work it
Um. Uh,
to see how much money she has to spend?
Miss, we could do. Sorry, Miss. I don't know.
So Ashley said we could just find 40% of the money. Yeah. Instead of finding 60% of it and then taking it away from the money, we could say, all right, if she is saving 60%, because remember, percent means out of 100. If she's saving 60%, that means she will have 40% left, because 60 from 100 leave 40. So Ashley and Nia are saying we could just say, all right, so 100% minus 60%, that leaves 40%. She is going to have 40% to spend on herself. So 40% of the money will give us how much she has. So that's zero, cancel that zero, this zero, cancel that, this zero. And 4 times 6 is 24. 4 ones, 4, 4 threes, 12, right? So, hold on. This, I'm doing something wrong here. 3, 1. This should be a 5, right? This should be a 5, not a 6.
Yes, Miss. It should be okay.
Okay. So 4 fives, 20. So let me do this over. All right, so 4 fives, 20, and 4 ones, 4, and 4 threes, 12. So we end up back with the same money, right? So it's not that one is right or wrong. You can work it this way. You can find the 60% of the money and subtract that from the money to see what's left. So this is for savings, this is for treating herself. Or you can say, all right, well, if 60% is going to go to savings and a percent means out of 100, so if we take the 60% from 100, we're left with 40% to treat herself. So we can just find 40% of the money, and here we have it. All right, and that is the end of the performance task. All right, so thank you. Thank you, scholars. Thank you, scholars, as usual, for keeping me company and sharing your thoughts and your answers with me and having a nice, healthy discussion. All right. And those in studio, as usual, so committed and so participative. So tomorrow is what? Thursday?
Thursday, miss.
Okay. So what we're going to have tomorrow? Critical thinking. Critical thinking skills tomorrow. Okay. Same time, same place. All right. So I'm going to go straight into my CSET math class now. So good night, scholars. Take care.
Night, everyone, and have a good rest of the evening.
Yes. Please enjoy your sleep.
Same to you.
See you again tomorrow, same time, same place. So here's our schedule of classes. Please be reminded, write down the dates and times and sessions. Hello CSEC math students, I know you are busy preparing for your math tests and your CSEC exams coming up. I have a very important question to ask you. Do you like my new hat? Thank you. Now another important question. Have you ever gotten a math problem wrong simply because of making one little mistake? I'm sure you have, as thousands of other students have. Now in this series, we're going to be looking at the common mistakes that students make with all the topics in CSET math. We're going to look at the common errors, demystify everything. Make sure you watch every video in this series so that you can avoid making those mistakes. So stay tuned. Hello scholars. Did you know that most times when students get problems wrong in mathematics is as a result of one single error or one mistake? Well, this is absolutely true, and we're going to be looking at the common errors that students make in the different topics in mathematics. If we know the errors beforehand, we can certainly avoid making them. Are you ready? Come on, take my hand.